What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over tips that every Fortnite player needs to know in Chapter 4 Season 2. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful or informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below one tip or one thing you had to change that has helped you the most in Chapter 4 Season 2. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the Mythics, because the Mythics this season are very good. There's a Havoc Pump Shotgun, a Havoc Assault Rifle, and a Mythic Pulse Rifle as well. There's Mythic versions of all of these weapons. The Assault Rifle can be found from a boss that spawns in at second zone. It's not there off spawn. You have to wait until second zone for the boss to spawn in. And they spawn at Mega City, Shattered Slabs, and Brutal Bastion, along with 2 guards. They're not hostile by default, but once you start fighting them, they will aggro you. They're super easy to kill, and when you eliminate the boss, they drop the key card as well as the Mythic Assault Rifle. And when you take this key card to the nearby vault and open it, the Mythic Havoc shotgun will be chilling in the vault. And this shotgun is very good. There's also 2 golden slurp juices in the vault as well, which I think is the best healing item in the game right now. So you're definitely going to want to take those. And the Mythic shotgun is insane because it can hit for 250 damage on a perfect shot. So in zero build, you could one pump somebody with a perfect shot. In build mode, you could one pump somebody with a non-perfect shot. And then the Mythic assault rifle is also very good. And I feel like there's been some confusion about these weapons because there's 3 of them. So it's not like it's random in a given match where the boss is going to spawn. Each game, there will be a boss at Shattered, a boss at Mega City, and a boss at Brutal Bastion. So there's 3 versions of the AR and 3 versions of the shotgun per game, and the boss doesn't spawn in until second zone, like I already said. So it is very, very good. I would definitely recommend going for this. Even if you don't want to land at any of these POIs, by the time you loot your POI and then rotate to the other one, you should be able to get it. Like when I go Frenzy, I've been rotating to Shattered Slabs recently, and then just kind of, by the time I get there, the boss has spawned, or it's relatively close to when the boss is going to spawn. We can hang out and kill them. Anvil, same way. You can go to Shattered or Brutal. Slappy Shores, I like landing at, and then I could just go to Brutal afterwards. And if you like Mega City or any of the other POIs around Mega City, by the time you clear them and get to Mega City, you should be around the time the boss is going to spawn. So even if you don't like landing at any of these Mythic POIs, you can take advantage of them still because of the way the boss spawns is a bit delayed. So I would highly recommend rotating to a Mythic POI after you clear your first spot. There is a lot, like they changed the zones this season in a weird way, and I feel like they kind of gave you more time to do things like this, to go clear bosses or, you know, clear other POIs after you clear your first POI. And I feel like that is kind of like what Epic was going for. They don't want people just rotating around the map looking for kills. They kind of want you rotating with more intention. Like you clear your POI, you loot up, and then you go to the Mythic POI, fight the boss, open the vault. And then from there, where do you go? To the island. The island spawns in at third zone. And this is where you get the Mythic Pulse Assault Rifle from capturing the point on the island. And it also does spawn Slurp Juice when you capture the point as well. Like I said, I think this is the best healing item in the game. We'll talk more about it later on. There is a vault on this island as well that you can open with keys, but I didn't really get anything special from this vault. It's just like a few chests. Whereas like the vaults that you open with the key card, it's very special because there's a lot of chests, and the Mythic Pump Shotgun is going to be chilling, and the Mythic or the Legendary Slurp Juice are just going to be chilling on the ground or on like you know, the containers in the vault. You don't have to open chests to get them; they're just there. So the island vault's meh, but the Mythic Pulse Rifle that you can get from the island is very good, and I feel like this kind of plays into what I was saying. They want you to like kind of go on these direct paths, and I guess it's kind of meant to like direct traffic in that one way, you know, because like you might not be able to find people, but if you go to the island, there's probably going to be other people going to the island. If you go to the boss when it spawns, there's probably going to be people going to the boss when it spawns. So it's like it's more directed traffic in a way. I think this could work, but for now, for so far this season, a lot of my games have been super dead in zero build. Like you get into 4th zone, which is pretty large, and there's like 8 people up, and it makes the game pretty boring sometimes, and it just really rewards patience. You have to be very careful to not just get too impatient and like lazy, and then start taking really bad fights just because of how long the game has kind of dragged on. That's just how I feel, at least. So I would definitely recommend going for these Mythics. I think they're very good, and even if you don't like landing at the POIs immediately, you can rotate to them. The Katana is also super important in Chapter 4 Season 2. I'm sure if you've played it all, you know that. There are these sword racks in the new biome that just spawn, and you can get them from there. So they're kind of like the Oathbound chests, but they only drop the sword, and I believe these are guaranteed spawn rate. I don't land in this area too much, but as you see on the picture I showed, there is a lot of these sword racks around this biome. So if you land anywhere here, you really shouldn't have a hard time getting a sword. There's also an NPC east of Citadel that sells it for 250 gold, and this NPC sells Chug Splash as well, which is really nice. So if you like landing at Citadel or maybe even Breakwater Bay and you happen to not get a katana, you can kind of pick one up on your way through here. There's also an NPC on the outskirts of Mega City that can be dueled for a katana as well. It's super easy to eliminate them. In this clip here, it was kind of scuffed because I just did it in a custom match, and like I only had a Maven shotgun. But when I fought them in an actual match and had like the Mythic pump already, it was super easy to eliminate them. And so there's a lot of ways to get it. You can land in the new area and get one of the sword racks. You can buy it from the NPC outside Citadel. You can duel this NPC for it, and there may be other NPCs that sell it on the map or that you can duel for it. I haven't been able to check all of the NPCs as of this time. And then also, you could just find it in general loot. Like, it's not like you have to get it from these special areas. These are just ways to increase your chances of getting it, but you can find it anywhere just as like normal floor loot. And it also can be found from hollow chests for 1 key, which is a really nice addition, because if you're ever, you know, not in a great spot as far as loot is concerned, hollow chests are like a good way to fix that. Or if there's hollow chests at your area and you happen to not find one but you have a key, you can maybe buy one. One thing with the katana though is you have to be careful not to hit anything when you use it. If you're standing too close to a wall when you use it, sometimes if you're like trying to get away from a fight or reposition in a fight, if you're like standing too close to the wall, you might brush up against it, and when you hit something with this katana, it stops you. So like if you're in a building and you try to use it to get outside, you're just going to hit the wall and stop once you break the wall. This is very different from how the shockwave hammer was, because with the shockwave hammer, you could break objects, but you would be sent flying like through it essentially. But with the katana, once you hit something, it breaks your momentum. This is something you have to be very, very careful about when you're playing the game. I myself have messed this up several times. I've seen other players mess it up. You just have to be more like kind of conscious of where you're going. I can't talk. Conscious of where you're going, and if you're like accidentally running into something, this can be weird in certain areas where like the hitboxes of certain objects are, you know, larger than they would seem. I'm sure a lot of you remember last season with the trees having like the biggest hitboxes ever anytime you try to hammer. I've noticed some areas like that as well getting in the way of using the katana. So just be careful when using it. I think it's very good. I would definitely recommend using it, and there is a lot of ways to get it. Talked about slurp juice earlier and how it can be obtained from vaults. Those are the main ways you can get it. The vaults, the island capture point, and then also the supply drops that come in. You have to like capture them essentially, but once you do capture them, you can get the legendary slurp juice from it, and it is very good. So I think this is the best healing item in the game right now. They changed it to where it used to just give you white or blue based on what you needed. Like it would fill white first and then your shield up to, I think 75, right? It gave you 75. Now it gives shield and normal health at the same time, and it uses much faster, and it will get you to 100. So it ticks faster now. I think it's like 6 HP a second. But in reality, I think it's like 12 HP a second, if I remember correctly, because it's giving you shield and white at the same time, and it will give you 100 of each. You could be at 1 health when you drink this, and then you will be at 100 by the time it's done working. It's very good. I would highly recommend carrying it if you're able to get your hands on it. Like I said, you get it from the vaults, you get it from supply drops, and you get it from the island capture point. And this once again kind of plays into what I was talking about earlier in the video, where it seems like Epic kind of wants you rotating with more intention. You rotate to the vaults, get the mythic, and get the slurp juice. Maybe if you end up using it, you go to the island, you get more, or you just prevent other people from getting it and getting the mythic pulse rifle. I think a lot of how this season is played is going to revolve around these rift events, because we have the island now, but it has been leaked that there's going to be 16 more rift POIs like this, and I don't really know if they're just going to replace the island or if it's going to be the island in addition to these other POIs as well. I think that could change the game a lot as more of those end up getting added to the game. Now we're going to talk about snipers, because I'm sure many of you are aware the heavy sniper is back. And one interesting thing is that sniper glint is a part of the game. So if you guys have played other shooters, you're probably aware of this mechanic, where when a sniper is scoped in, you see like a flash from their scope, and this makes it very easy to spot them if they are in your vision or your peripheral vision. If somebody is like behind you, this really isn't going to do anything for you, but the sniper glint is very bright and very noticeable, and it can kind of be seen by bushes as well. I had my friend test this with me in a private match, and he's kind of just showing the glint off. I already kind of had clips of it playing to show you guys the glint, but once he goes into a bush, you can still kind of see it. I'm not really sure if this would give somebody's location away. I feel like I can only kind of notice it here because I'm actively looking for it, and I know for a fact he's in that bush, but bushes do kind of still obscure the glint. It's hard to say. I think it's like 80% obscured. This was something I was wondering as soon as they added snipers, or when I noticed the sniper glint was in the game, I wanted to see, like, do bushes hide it? And I think for the most part, bushes do get rid of the glint or make it to where you won't really notice them. So while sniper glint is still in the game, or it is in the game, you still have to be very careful of snipers camping in bushes, and obviously snipers sitting behind you. The heisted exotics are also back in Chapter 4 Season 2, and you can get these from hollow chests for 2 keys. So there's no guaranteed way to get them. It's not like how it was during the Most Wanted event where there's bosses that drop them, or you can go to the vaults. I had people telling me you can get them from the vaults, or that there's exotic chests in the vaults that grant it, but that is not the case. The only way I have seen to get these exotics, the heisted exotics, has been from the hollow chests. So you don't get them from vaults, you get them from hollow chests. They're not from bosses. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the Thunder Shotgun, because this has been vaulted in Chapter 4 Season 2, but as of right now, you can obtain it by eliminating the NPC at Frenzy, and I believe there's a polar bear in the ice area as well that drops it. When you eliminate them, they will drop a white thunder shotgun, and unfortunately this thunder shotgun cannot be upgraded. It's stuck at white rarity, but if you really want to use the thunder shotgun, this is how you get it. Or if you died to somebody who was using the thunder and you were super confused, this is how they got it. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found it helpful and informative. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, comment down below one tip that helped you in Chapter 4 Season 2, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.